Hey, hey, y'all. Welcome back to the Audacity podcast.
Oh my
I
God,
am,
Julie.
look, look.
You know I like it when you talk to me like that. Wow, wow, we back on in the evenings, y'all. That's why
Look,
he got on his Barry White. Come on, sir. Go
look.
ahead. My apologies for interrupting.
So I'm one of your hosts. I am Julian of Julian Creates. And just to let y'all know now that y'all are not only in our podcast studio, y'all are now currently in my nail salon as I do my nails. Amen. Now, who am I talking with today?
You know what? Aaronica is here. We don't have any visits from Robin. You know, we are in it. We are feeling good. So it is I, Aaronica from Needle and the Bell, aka Aaronica B. Cole, aka all of the above. Um, and we're back to recording on our Tuesday night. I don't know if we can cheat on the evenings ever again because even though the vibe was vibing, right, for the podcast,
Right.
I just, like I really be selfish with you, and I didn't get all the time that I felt like I needed. So we're back on Tuesday.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
And we are back on a Tuesday that this week has been busy and crazy and so much stuff. If you've been following my stories, I have a photo shoot on Thursday, and they tell you to bring two or three of your favorite outfits. And if you also have been following me, I've kind of changed sizes. So two or three of my old favorites, what I'm about to do with them? I look like I'm wearing my daddy's clothes.
So it's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work.
Yeah, so we have been working out and or working on sewing some stuff and throwing fabric at it. I think we had a good place. I finished up one outfit today before I started on my nails. Um, I gotta make a shirt, hem some jeans, and we should be good.
Okay.
We should be good. Pray. Pray real hard. Oh, and wait for my shapewear to come in because again, learning your body and sadly, you take some of the old with you in the new,
Yeah.
and you probably don't need it, but you it's a security blanket. So
Mm. Mm.
oh rock and sometimes instead of not moving forward, sometimes you just gotta rock the security blanket and move forward with it.
Yeah.
So for me, one of those things I don't mind shapewear. I've been known to wear two at once.
Wow. That's a lot of security. A lot
Like
of
two
shoulders.
pairs of Spanx. Like I was on it for real. Um
It didn't make you feel claustrophobic.
No, it makes me feel like I'm wearing a hug. It's like it helps with
Okay.
anxiety.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. Okay.
So especially when I have to go out or something like that, it's sometimes it just kind of it's like one of those energy blankets for dogs and it just holds me together.
I always feel like it makes me have better posture. And so I feel
Yes.
more secure, you know? Like
But the
I feel
problem
like I'm not
is
gonna fall.
the better posture, yes, but then it also feels like my chest is real forward. And I feel like I'm a barrel chest Gaston or something like that. And it depends on what I'm wearing. I remember I wore one and I was wearing this blazer, and literally I was about to pop out the blazer because it just pushed everything up.
I know that's right.
And I just looked real good and just
Yeah, Stone.
barrel chested.
He
Just
hung.
I was like, Jesus, too much.
I think my everybody around you was probably like, that's enough. Like that.
Uh, I don't know. I don't know if they was feeling it. People have been feeling this outfit though
I know I
on
am.
my
I'm trying to make me
stories.
a little matchy matchy.
Come on. And as I talked about, because remember I talked about in some podcasts, previous podcasts about Backroom Fine sending me a box. So Stephanie
Yeah, yeah,
Canada
yeah.
sending me a box. First of all, the fabrics are gorgeous. The pattern is
And
gorgeous. I
iron. Yeah.
can't wait to use it. But she has all these different double knits on her site that are vintage double knits from closeouts from when she bought a dressmaker's stash and inventory.
I almost
I'm
started
ready.
to be like, just go ahead, give me the name again. Let me just go ahead, pull it up. But you know what? No, I'm not gonna do it. Why? Because I have so
Don't do
much
it before
fabric
I
in my garage.
don't do it before I do it because like this outfit that I made might become a uniform for me.
Yeah.
I
No, no, no.
like it that
I
way.
Love the aesthetic. Again, like I said, so Julian sent me a picture last night of him. He sent me picture and video of him in this outfit, and I was like, yes, it's giving. So I also feel like this is going to tie in with today's topic, which of course is about talking about self-love, right? But part of what he was saying was that he felt like he needed to put the shapewear on. And I didn't want to discredit or disregard what you were saying because I couldn't see it, right? Because what I
Mhm.
saw in front of me was this vision. I was like, golly, that shit looks so sleek. Like it looks so good. Like even though all of the buttons aren't on the vest, I was still like, yo, this is bad. Like this is nice. And like I don't even know what you plan on wearing underneath it, but I was like, even with the t-shirt, that shit is fire. Like, I didn't see what you saw. Like, all I saw was like literal drip. What are the kids saying? Riz? Is that what it is?
Yeah, the Riz or the
Yeah.
one of
Or
them, one of them words.
I think now it's you're looking real drippy, right?
Okay.
That's what I saw when I saw you. I was like, oh, he's looking real drippy. Yeah.
We
Sure drips a
I
lot.
don't I I love the aesthetic of it.
Mhm.
I don't feel it for myself yet.
That's fine. I'm gonna
But
just
then
keep
I tried
throwing the compliments at you.
but then I tried it on without a t-shirt that's like almost too big and was
Mhm.
bunching. I
Uh-huh.
liked it more.
Yeah.
That helped. So, yes, when we're in the, it's going to, so for everybody who has not seen, and it is a black and yellow double knit that from far away kind of almost looks like a tweed or something like that. It plays with your eyes in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
It is my Nomi 2009 pants, and a vintage stretch and sew pattern vest, both out of a double knit. So it's basically like a pair of sweats,
Yeah. It looks
but
dressed
dress.
up.
It's a pair of dressy sweats. And just even the way I lined the vest is a fully lined vest. Yeah, I can show you. Um, the vest is fully lined,
Oh wow. And I like that
also in
lining.
knit. Child, it was cheap at Joann's. I said, give me something. But yeah, fully lined vest. The lining is also a knit. So it also stretches, but just the way that it curves and cuffs your back. And with the darts and stuff like that, it gives a nice look. I was
It
just a little bit
does.
worried that I had like a belly or like some midsection issues that were just
Mm-hmm.
that I was seeing. Without a t-shirt on, I felt better about it. So,
Well,
which
good.
is
I'm happy. I'm happy because again, like all I saw was excellent. That's it. That's what I saw. But you know
now
who
I just need the pictures to give me what I need because I
it's
got I
going
got
to?
yellow glasses to match and I got black and white Nikes to wear with it. I'm wearing a white shirt, a white mock neck, I think. So
Well, listen, you know I'm available to be on FaceTime if you need me to cat call you so that you can give the people what we need. You know, I'm available to
okay,
be your hype person
I might
if
call
you
you
need
in.
me. Okay?
I might call you in. We're gonna pray on it and see what we need. Oh, that's the wrong hand.
Mm-hmm. Professional
All
hype
right,
person. That's me.
we ready for our Am I the Asshole?
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited.
All right. Ooh, y'all mess up my nail. Okay. So, am I the asshole for not reserving someone's spot for a sewing class after they said they wanted to sign up? So, this summer, I'm holding affordable sewing classes for kids where
Oh,
they'll be able to make their own stuffed animals based on the patterns I provide. Naturally, I advertised in a few places, including next door, since people would have to be local. Now, me and next door, I mean, you said you're going to post there, and Lord knows, next door,
I mean, is
they're
next door the new Craigslist?
if they about there, they about there, they about there.
I mean, I'm
Just
nosy, so I'll be on there, but you know.
they I mean, Karen Craig lists. That's what I'm gonna call them because that's what it is.
Mm,
So in my posts, I always have the following information: the price of the class, how many hours each class was, the
hmm
requirements, what their child would learn. That is first come, first serve, and a link to sign up with a Google form. To make
Right.
the sign up link very obvious, next to it, I put fill out this form to sign up.
Feels obvious. Yes, I love this for us.
Anyways, a lady commented on one of my posts asking if I had any openings in the classes, which was information available on the Google form. I gave her the ones I had, and she ended up asking about signing up for the June date, which at the time had 2 spots left. I told her she could sign up using the link in the post.
I love this. Consistent in that communication.
However, 3 to 4 hours after I replied to her, the June class was full. I only have 4 sewing machines specifically for the class, which is why it filled so quickly.
Hmm.
I let her know, and she got annoyed, asking why I didn't save a spot for her after she said she wanted it. I explained that I can't just save a spot because someone asked, um, just because someone says they want it in the comments, and that it is first come, first serve for filling out the form to sign up. She replied again saying she wished I had asked her before giving the spot away. In my mind, she had never had it to begin with. I
Also in
told her she,
reality, not just her
I
mind.
mean, look, I told her she could sign up to be on the wait list. And so she did that. But now all the people signed up for the date have paid, and it's highly unlikely anyone will make a last minute cancellation. But I feel guilty. You shouldn't. Oops, my bad. Because she had shown interest, though I had other people show interest and end up ghosting me. And she didn't end up getting a spot. I do have an extra sewing machine, so I might be able to squeeze another kid in, but it is my personal, more heavy duty one, and managing
Absolutely
5 kids
not.
would be more difficult than managing 4. So here's my question. Am I the asshole for not saving a spot for her when she hadn't filled out the sign up form? Hell no.
You know what, Julian? You know what I get so tired of? And this is coming from someone who is consistently battling and stopping being a people pleaser, right? Because I do
Mhm.
still struggle with this from year to year. We not even gonna say time to time, from year to year,
Year to
right?
year. Sometimes
This year
moment to
is a new
moment.
year, right?
Right. It
Um,
just
but the notion that we have to go out of our way to bend over backwards in order to make accommodations for people when we have already outlined a boundary or a way to go beyond said boundary, right? She gave
mhm.
all of the very clear information. And like, this is the same thing, like in any kind of pool, dating pool, sign up pool, right? Because, like, just because, like, let's say, you know, you were interested in women, obviously you would be interested in me. No, I'm just joking. But, like, let's say I met you in Denver at the same time, you expressed interest, but then Denver made a move. Like, in no way,
Right.
shape, or form would you ever have any right to look at him and be like, oh my, or look at me and be like, oh my God, why didn't you hold the spot for me? Like, sir, what? How old are we?
Right.
How old are we?
Right.
Like, now I definitely texted like my daughter's bestie's mom, like, hey, save me a seat next to you when you get into this award ceremony. But I explicitly said, save me a seat. I didn't say pay the entryway and do all that. I said just save me the seat. I'm here,
Right.
right?
Meaning that you are on your way
I'm
and
coming,
stuff
I'm
like
there.
that.
I'm there.
To say
We are not mind
anything,
readers, but also
look,
this is her business. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. Why would I save you a spot when you didn't throw up any money? Also, following directions is a key skill that is taught in pre-K as well as reinforced in kindergarten. If you didn't get the lesson, don't hold anyone accountable for that outside of yourself and your parents. Like,
hmm,
that ain't this lady's fault. And
not
also,
at
the
all.
notion that this woman thinks that she should have to go above and beyond is out of this world. As people, we got to stop making people feel like we have that they have to bend over backwards for us. Absolutely not. In fact, you know what? I will say you are the asshole. You're the asshole for thinking that you should do anything outside of what you've already done.
Right. Absolutely. And I mean, especially because you had did everything that you're supposed to do.
Right.
And literally all this woman had to do was follow directions. Now, if you became an adult somehow or another, In your life, you had to follow directions.
You have to, you follow directions on how to get that kid.
Well, maybe she got the kid because she didn't follow the directions. Let's be
Well,
real. Let's be real.
that was also the prime time to learn.
Right. You was gonna get the lesson either way. In the washing and the rinse, the lesson came.
The kid, or maybe it went over her. I don't know, but I don't feel like she should be holding anybody accountable outside of herself for her mismanagement of time. You know what I'm
Absolutely
saying?
not. And I'm like, especially you are up here about to teach children.
Yeah,
Children. You don't add other people to that,
no,
unless you have the assistants and stuff like that, and you don't put them on a machine that is different than
absolutely not.
everybody else's.
Because also,
Like,
if her mama can't follow fucking directions, man, what kind of child you bringing up in here?
child, look,
Mm-mm. Not and not on my heavy duty machine. Absolutely not.
I already don't trust you.
Mm-mm.
And
Already don't trust you and already know what to expect from your child.
right.
How
And
about
as
this?
we
Even
talked
if she
about,
didn't respond to this woman at all, she still wasn't the asshole. Why? Because in her out, she outlined everything that you were supposed to get done in
yeah,
order to have a seat in
and how this
like
works.
and how this works. I
Mm-hmm.
don't understand. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, I'm sitting here literally singing to myself, which I'm going to sing aloud, is what I need from you is understanding. Anyway, so sorry, y'all. Singing is not my gift. I'm gonna do it in the shower, at all times, but you're welcome for that tidbit there. Okay.
But also, I think, and it goes into, as we're talking about self-love today,
Yes.
boundaries is part of self-love, and
Mm.
you need to keep a boundary in your business
Hmm.
because you want it for yourself, and literally understand that this woman clearly probably thinks that she can do this in all aspects of life.
Yeah.
That this is just normal. She gets away with it. I'm
The notion that
sorry,
people are just here to serve her, like, come on, girl.
but that's not how my black ass works. And I don't know your cultural heritage, but what you're not about to do is do
Mm-mm.
more than what you're getting paid for because somebody up here throws a fit because they did not do
Yes.
bare minimum to get what they want. Because literally, if the parent does that, the child is going to do that. And literally, they are just building generations that won't be able to even fend for themselves. And hence how we
Yeah.
get the country that we got today.
And if we're being real, um, that's a generational curse that we really need to cancel.
Look, look,
That one
look,
right there.
I'm tired.
Hired already. Um, but yeah, that was a good Am I the Asshole? No, little love. You are not the asshole, and I would love it if you could grow a backbone a little bit stronger because, babe, we cannot be bending over and taking it from everyone, okay? It's
Mm-hmm.
reserved for however many people that you, whatever. Let's move on.
Yes, yes. So today, y'all, we are talking about self-love in
Mm-hmm.
honor as we enter the month of love.
Mm-hmm.
And a special challenge that you got going on. You want to talk to us about this?
Yeah, let's talk about it. So we are doing the self-love sewing challenge, which of course I think we introduced last episode, but just gonna go ahead and reiterate that the self-love part of this, right? Because while yes, I am happily married and I do love to get dressed and I do love for my husband to look at me with like the googly eyes and everything like that. But one of the things that he actually said to me that has stuck with me is I asked him what it was that he found the most attractive or the sexiest thing about me. And he said that it was when I found myself attractive and when I was confident with myself. And
Come
he
on.
found that to be attractive and that to be sexy. So I feel like the more we embrace self-love and the more we dress for ourselves, the more we celebrate our bodies at whatever stage they are in life, whether you are young, old, whether you've got saggy boobs, whether you've got new ones, whether you don't have boobs, whether you've got, you're trying to go ahead. Like I was trying to get Julian to get on board with making some mesh boxer briefs, whether you're out here in the mesh, the silk, the lace, you know what I mean? But I really think that it's important that when we make things, like even the notion of selfish sewing is ridiculous, right? Because it's our skill set. Why wouldn't we make things for ourselves with it, right? So instead of focusing on it being a selfish so, I would like for it to be a self-love so. And you guys focus on the things that make you feel beautiful. So last this week I have already made a Colby bralette out of
Come on.
this mesh, and it's brown and it's almost like a tie-dye brown.
Mhm.
And I accented it with a black lace band because I'm the person who loves to wear lingerie. I love it, but I have a longer torso, so nothing ever fits. Also, because my bottom is typically like three sizes bigger than my top, so nothing ever fits the right way. So I want to be comfortable at the same time as being sexy, you know?
Come on.
Um, and that's what this challenge is really dedicated to. Will there be some prizes? Yes. Nothing that I have to mail because y'all, your girl is terrible at mailing. I'm a work in progress. I'm still getting stuff out. Okay. Just don't come for me. Don't snatch my edges. I know what I have to send out. Okay. But yeah, I really wanted during this time of love where everyone seems to be doing things like buying all of this extra shit that nobody actually extra needs. I just
Mhm.
wanted to focus inward on celebrating the person that we are, the growth that we've done to become these dope ass people, the things that we want to do, you know what I mean? And the things we want to wear.
Right. And I think like self-love is not does not just mean lingerie. I think
Right.
just sewing for yourself is an act of self-love.
It is.
But like I said earlier, setting boundaries
Ooh, come on.
is an act of self-love.
Come
So
on.
literally, if you are enjoying your makes and decide that I want to share my makes on the internet, and you can say, I don't want I don't need your explanation for nothing. That is an act of self-love for you because you are putting
Yes.
that boundary in place.
Hmm.
And it is something that I'm now to the point where like, oh yeah, we about to do that because people
Yeah.
are
And honestly,
some of
I'm
y'all.
excited about that for you, Julian, because I feel like um
They be trying.
sometimes I feel like you keep things a little too PC and it almost encourages people to keep trying you, right? It almost encourages people to keep sliding into your DMs, sharing things with you about your fits and makes that no one asked for. It almost feels like people feel more invited to share their insights that no one wants with you because you are a kind person and do the oh, thank you or you don't do anything rude, right? And I'm not saying that you should be rude, but I do believe in the boundary, right? I feel like as I've gotten older and as I've gotten more comfortable, or
Mhm.
as I've gotten more happy about where I am in life, I have been like setting boundaries has become way easier. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, like protecting my peace. Like I generally speaking don't block people, but I'm quick to unfriend. You know, I'm quick to do it.
Right.
Like, especially if I feel like that doesn't serve me anymore. You know what I mean? Um,
Hmm.
and I don't want to say it's not personal because it really isn't personal, but it's about, finding what feeds me versus what doesn't. And I
Right.
think that it's important for you to do that as well because there is no way in hell that somebody should feel so open to come into your DMs or to come up
Say some of the
on
shit.
and say some
Yeah.
of the things that I know that people have said. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, And of course,
Mm-hmm.
I also am keeping it cute on here today as well. But that bothers me a lot, honestly. If we're being completely open and honest here, it bothers me a lot. And if I am able to see it and speak on it, I will, and I will never not because, um, yes, we are influencers. Yes, we put our lives out on the internet. That doesn't mean that as we do it, we're saying, "Hey, comment on everything," or please put your, you know,
I'm
half
asking
percent in.
for you
Right.
to decide how my being and everything else.
Exactly.
That
Exactly.
ain't what we're here
It's
for.
not it.
But but yeah, people do that, and I think that we can take a stand and say how we want to be treated. I think as a form of self love that we can operate in, and I
Yeah.
think. that idea of the criticalness of others is the mind that I was looking at my outfit yesterday with.
Mm,
I need to stop, especially as I'm learning a new body that I worked hard to
yeah.
get to.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, I might join y'all, make some little silky, meshy, lacy, something.
Listen, okay? Because
Look,
if y'all gave me that idea last night, now I'm over here like, oh, can Denver and I have matching? That's like
I
just
mean,
saying.
look, I mean,
I feel
look.
like it should be a thing.
I mean,
We'll make it
long as
bang.
it seems a flat locked or something, and
Okay.
not causing no chafing and stuff like that, you should be okay.
Because we can't do chafing. Can't
Because
do shaving.
if you got to walk around and up here and have the extra just because your draws, you trying to be extra, that
I
ain't
mean,
me.
obviously it'll it's meant to be worn for like 15 minutes. You know,
Yeah,
what
but
it will
I
say.
like to be ever ready, and I want to pop out on a surprise. So if I'm going to church or something like that, I might
Not
want to
church. Oh my God. He said he's dressing his jewels up for the Lord.
look. I'm coming as my best, and and I just want to sit there and feel shimmery as I'm up and sliding around in the seat
Because
in
that's what you're gonna be
preparation
doing.
for after church.
Slipping and sliding.
For Bible study or something
Oh
later.
my God. You know what?
You got to be ready. Like sometimes you got to get dressed early so that you can
I
pop out later.
and you're right. And you're right about that. That's the reason why I like to make my own lingerie because my shit is comfortable on me and
Right.
I can put it on and then surprise, surprise. Right? You feel me?
And pop out. Right. Pop out. Be placow.
Right?
And
Be
just
in
be ready.
somebody's sweatpants and then do a little lift. Like, what was that? What was that? Lift your
Right.
arm up again. Lift your arm up
Give
again.
them a little leg. Take it right
You
back.
know, just a
Right.
little
Give them
something.
a little gypsy rose or something.
Ooh,
But I'm just saying, gypsy rose Lee. She got it. She got us
why
together
was
for
Kalima the one who was like, "Mommy, did you see that Gypsy Rose got out?" And I was like, "Girl, what?"
child. And the funny thing is that my mind, because again, my mother is older, so I watched movies. So I remember watching Gypsy, with Rosalind, what's her name? The lady who played Auntie Mame. Rosalind, I can see her face. Whatever it is. Somebody tell me. Y'all tell me who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I remember like, the song and the dress and Gypsy. And
Hmm.
that's where my mind always go. And I know that's what she's named after, but I'm like,
Yeah,
who the hell is this? Because this ain't
right.
I know they ain't remake Gypsy. And I was confused. And I'm like, that sounds real gay of me. That I'm up here thinking of an old classic show tune movie. But anywho's,
Just being be yourself. It's fine.
it's okay. I don't do it too often, but sometimes when I pull it out, I pull it old and pull it
Yeah.
out.
Did we ever tell you guys that I didn't think that Julian was like gay. I just thought that he was metrosexual and that he was, I was like, maybe he's bi. I don't know. But I
Uh,
was like, he gives Kyle Barker. And I was like, I don't, you know, also at the time, it wasn't my place to be over here like, hey, BT dubs.
but she now knows I'm strictly dickly. So
Right. Twinsies.
it's all right. Um, but yeah, like, and I think there are, especially if you're getting comfortable in yourself, there are some really
Mhm.
great patterns that you can go to help in the self-love area. And it does not have to be, if you don't feel the love fully for your body yet,
Yeah.
find the love in being comfortable. So it could be a pair of joggers, it could be a robe, it could be a sweatshirt, it could be a t-shirt, like the t-shirt that like bamboo jersey,
Ooh. Or mode.
or yes, or if you really bougie, a wool jersey, a cashmere jersey,
Oh.
like a merino wool
Julian.
jersey t-shirt from We Are the Fabric Store. Yeah.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Hause, let me pull them up because Valentine's Day is coming up. Let me make some bougie shit for my husband.
Mhm. And I mean, and some see people will use like some of the wools for base layers and stuff like that, but even like some of the legging patterns and stuff like that in a wool jersey.
Yeah. You
Child.
know what my favorite thing to do is make the not like make the things that you wouldn't normally choose out of like a fabric that is kind of like I don't want to say crazy, but like I'm gonna make a t-shirt out of, a mesh or
Mhm.
like that's like my favorite thing to do because like who said that it only has to be, you know, made for panties or bras, you know what I mean? I
Right.
love that so much, you know?
Right.
Um,
And you might think wool, oh my God, that's so hot, but wool breathes. Wool works with you.
mm,
Like you will see people in Uggs in summertime because if they're real, if they're real, I just want to say that.
Listen,
If
all
they,
I'm gonna say is that they are real expensive too, because
I
I
mean,
definitely just pulled up We Are the Fabric Store
yeah, yeah,
and
um,
they are over here talking about $36 per meter.
yeah.
Okay. Cool, 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 cool,
That's
cool.
why I said a t-shirt. You know,
Yes,
that's
you
about
did say
a
that.
yard and a half.
Surprise, surprise. Oh
I
my
I
God.
I ain't say go through and do your whole and make a whole,
You're correct. You're correct.
everything with it. Just, just a little shink-a-dink.
This,
I said a little shink-a-dink. That's all.
don't make a blazer. Just like
I mean,
make a
but
tank.
if you want to make a blazer, we ain't,
You know what? I actually really feel beautiful in blazers. Like I feel like that is like one of I didn't even think about that
Mhm.
until my girlfriend Sylvia
Mhm.
was sharing how she made this blazer and I was like, yo, I really want to make another blazer. So I did the and I actually think I'm gonna deconstruct this last blazer that I made because I didn't love the way that it fit. And
Mhm.
I'm gonna make a different blazer out of it because I love this fabric.
Okay.
Um, but I feel so beautiful in blazers. Like I just love a blazer.
I used to love dressing up when I was a kid. Like for a while there, I was very much the if y'all remember my church people will know Ty Tribbett, that very schoolboy church boy aesthetic, like ties every day with a pair of jeans type of thing. That was my thing.
Yeah, yeah.
With a vest type of, yeah, that was my that
Giving like
was
page boy. Yeah.
yes, that was my thing. Very Farnsworth Bentley of that era. Um, so I don't dress up like that anymore just because I'm like, ooh, trauma.
Oh, never
Um,
mind.
but like making the outfit that I made, yes, I'm like, okay, like it was the best of both worlds for me.
Yeah.
Um, so and I think even in finding ways in which you can incorporate like different things. Like, so if there is something that you don't love, because you feel it's constricting or confining, for me, I mean,
Mm,
if I ain't gotta wear a suit, I ain't gonna wear a suit. But if I can
yeah.
make a suit, wear a suit that it is also like like one of those travel stretch athletic type of suits,
Yes.
surely because it's comfortable for me and I don't feel
Correct.
restricted and I don't feel out of my element type of thing.
That makes a
So
lot of sense.
yeah, and I think like self-love for people can look totally different. And if you know you got to do something or be in spaces, be in something that makes you comfortable,
Facts.
be in something that makes you feel amazing. And like, like I feel like sometimes again, the security blanket is needed.
Hmm.
And if I rather you have what you need and still do it, then you holding yourself back because you feel like you can't because you don't have what you feel like you need to feel confident.
Yeah. I think that's also very, very important as well.
Mhm.
Um, one of the things that I feel like should be talked about even more is discovering what self-love truly looks and feels like. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of times, and I say I can only speak for women, right? And I'm sure that you'll weigh in with how things are for men, but I feel like for a lot of women, right,
Mhm.
we feel like we can't truly love ourselves until we are accepted by society, right? Whether that is in how we look, how we dress, etc. Like we are still waiting for the approval, right? To fit in with
Mhm.
either the standard of beauty or, something along those lines. One of the
Mhm.
things that I think is important to highlight, though, is that self-love is actually a journey and not a destination, right? It's funny because I was talking about this and like people and what many people don't know is that I really do struggle a lot with like self-confidence, self-love, etc. I was actually talking about this with my husband yesterday because we had gotten onto the topic of like something that I had said and I was like, does that hurt you or does it make you feel like I don't love you or I'm not as attracted to you? And he's like, yeah, it does, you know. And I'm like, okay, well, let me actually just clear this up for you because it doesn't have anything to do with you. It has everything to do with the fact that when I look at myself in the mirror, a lot of days it's hard for me to see myself as beautiful. And he's like,
Mhm.
you know, it's hard for me to hear someone like you say that. And he's like, you are so beautiful and like, you know, you're like you are like aesthetically pleasing to most people. And while, you know, I'm like, I appreciate that and I love that. I don't personally see it for myself. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because namely, I don't like because, you know, this is like the biggest that I've been and it's so hard to lose weight and I also feel betrayed by my body and you know the list kind of goes on with the challenges that I am currently facing with loving myself. But
Mhm.
also like 4 or 5 years ago, yeah, your girl was on the self-love train and was like, "Oh, I love myself, you know, love what I see, love what I'm doing, love the way that my body is working, etc." Right? And I think it's
Mhm.
important that we talk about that like it's not a final destination. You know, there are moments that may trip you up and if you get tripped up, it is also okay. That is part of the journey, you know?
Mhm. Absolutely. And I think in my case, what's interesting is that even as my body has changed and shifted and stuff like that,
Hmm.
um, I've never always felt cute or attractive. You know,
Mm,
all my friends would get hollered at and stuff like that, and that ain't never been me. Nobody's
mm.
ever. Well, no, there was one creepy guy. I remember he followed me into my dorm,
Not one
trying to
creepy
holler at me. I'm
guy.
like, no, 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 no. And we had lockable doors, and somehow or another he made it past the lock. I'm like, oh no, that ain't cute.
We aren't counting him. We aren't counting creepy
But
people.
like, getting hollered at and stuff like that, that people
Yeah.
like, oh my God, and this part, like that ain't never been my experience. And even now, it's like, I just kind of felt plain or home,
Mm.
I don't know, homely, but just just kind of like I'm here. And if somebody throw a little something my way, I guess it's I got a good personality at least to draw me in.
Isn't this so
Um,
interesting how like we see each other so differently?
hmm hmm
Like when I look at you, I see someone who is like so dynamic and like so one, like I think that you are just so handsome, and I don't say that because of my undying love and affection for you, right? But like I think that you are just such a good-looking person and like it's obvious that you take care in your appearance, which I find so much respect in. Like even in your dress down, like your glasses are gonna match, right? There's always gonna be some swaggy. You know what I'm saying? Always gonna be drippy, is what the kids are saying now, right? And it's so wild to me. And of course I was like trying really hard not to you know, discredit what you were saying last night about wanting to wear shapewear because I'm like, shapewear for fucking what? Like the body is bodying. Like what are we
absolutely.
sucking in?
And everybody was saying the same thing when I was like, but some of my earliest memories with people like, gotta love a black family.
Mm.
Um, telling you, suck your stomach in.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Stand up straight, pull your pants up. I'm like, my pants are up. But just because they want to say something and their anxiety is to pick on others.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So understand like when like as we and I don't know if we talked about it here, but there has been a conversation about people who don't have like the core muscles and there's like scar tissue and crazy bands in their abdomen area because they always suck it in.
Mm.
Started at 12.
Yeah.
Always sucking it in. Even when and at the I didn't have shit to suck in. Or trying to people telling you gotta go on diet, stop eating this, and like, and it be your
Yeah.
family more than
Yeah.
anything. The patting on the stomach and stuff like that. So just always it just never I ain't never see it for myself. And even now I'm still struggling, even in the change of body, like work has been done, but I'm still seeing flaws. And I'm like, oh gosh,
Mm,
I feel like my face is looking old and haggard because I don't have the same fullness in my face. And yeah, that's where my mind has been going lately. And
mm,
um trying to not dwell there. Because I know it's not, I know it's a fallacy. I know it's a
right.
fallacy that's made up in my mind.
And it
Um,
is, yeah.
and I know this, but still, your mind will play tricks.
It
And it's
surely
important
will.
to know that. But to embody that and fully believe it is different. So,
Yeah. I think it's so funny because now, as we're even talking through this, but I feel like this is all the more reason why when like even Nikki and I were talking about this challenge and
mhm,
making it self-love focused, like I knew that it was something that I personally needed as well, right? Because like I feel like I look in my closet, and I talked about this on my YouTube channel about
mhm.
decluttering my closet again and kind of getting rid of some things. And um it's hard because like I was also watching like another YouTube video or another something where they were like, well, why do you have to get rid of, why do you have to declutter so much? And as I battle, of course, between being sustainable and not having too much excess, minus my fabric, whatever, judge someone else, um, it becomes that thing of like maybe I shouldn't declutter, but then I'm like, I have too many things in here that make me feel super insecure about my body, or that just do not make me feel beautiful when I'm wearing them,
Mhm.
or I feel like highlight my insecurities. And doing the self-love sewing challenge for me is also a way for me to focus on how I want to redefine my style to make me feel like how I want to feel this year. You know what I mean? Um, and make
How
me
you want to show up in the world.
exactly, exactly. Like I've been getting dressed for the most part every day. If not every day, then a bare minimum of 4 times out of the week. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And what I'm finding is that there are definitely things that make me feel like super fly. Like the outfit that you made definitely falls within this like aesthetic that I'm loving right now, right? So don't be surprised when I'm like,
Oh, I'm ready
I
for
need
it.
to go ahead and make me a little matchy matchy outfit too, because can't let my brother be out here the only one looking fly.
I'm
Um,
already looking at some neon color Ponte. So
oh, from where?
I think where was I at Designer Fashion Warehouse?
Because that's like my favorite
No.
fabric.
Or Fabric Wholesale Direct. It was Fabric Wholesale Direct, I think.
Oh, okay, excellent. Because
It was some
let me
uh-huh.
see.
Uh-huh.
Fantastic.
And,
I love this for us.
Fashion Fabric Club also has some too in the double knit area.
Hmm.
So, doing like I'm at a point now where like I don't mind remaking stuff when it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And also I found I know the companies that work for me. I find what
Mm.
works aesthetically for my what I try to go for. So vintage like stretch and sew is that's my mainstay because I like the way that it fits me and it's
Yeah.
knit.
Yeah.
Which is always interesting because when I was new into sewing, I was not a knit person. I ain't sew with knits at all.
This, and I don't even want to say it's always been my jam, but it's my jam.
And nothing wrong with it. And hell, it's mine now.
And
It is
is
mine now. So y'all, I'm just giving y'all an update. We have now finished taking off the polish on the next nails, the next hand. So we're about to do that as well.
I know that's right, sir.
Literally this whole time I've been we've been working,
He said I'm gonna do pull double time.
getting these hands together. But yeah, I think,
Now,
you
let
can
me
do
ask you this question. As someone who knows kind of like what like pattern brands and things like that work for you, what
Mhm.
is something that you feel like kind of stands out when it comes time for, say, choosing or really identifying like brands that do work for you?
So in trying, I mean, the brands that I like the most have either a more classic or like it got to be something interesting. Something
Hmm.
like I want to learn when I make it. I can sizing wise and stuff like that. I can work on that, but I want to learn when I make it. So using like a stretch and sew pattern because it is using vintage styling techniques, even in sewing techniques, I'm
Hmm.
learning something as I make it. That I truly find different and valuable. So like in making the vest that I made, it has welt pockets and it's knit welt pockets. The way that they have you do the knit welt pockets is that they have you do something called a pocket stay
Hmm.
um, to kind of make out the box for your welt. Well, in the thing, they basically, in the original ones, they have you use interfacing. So woven interfacing to do that. So you're basically, instead of like how we normally sew on the welt at the same time
Right.
as making that box, you're making the box by itself. And then the welt is built into the pocket piece that you then put. But when you then have to make the box with a piece of interfacing and you like fuse it to the back, like you sew it on the front, unfuse, and turn it out to the back, and then fuse it, gives you a perfectly shaped box, perfect for.
Mm.
Well, that was something I had not tried. Now, no, they do this in other patterns, but I had tried it with just woven fabric and it didn't give the same look. Now that I know
Right.
to use it with interfacing, I'm like,
Now,
oh, this
hmm
is how I'm about to do all of my knit welt pockets.
yeah.
And literally need to do another video on my Nomi pants to show how
Oh
I
yeah.
want to do those wet pockets again.
Yeah. Oh, I would love that because I didn't do the welt. Excuse me, I didn't do the welt pockets on Denver's pair.
Right. Even though you could have, you got the
I
skills.
could have.
That's fine.
Um, but I'm also it's funny because I'm the jacket that I'm looking at making offers, it offers like patch pockets as well as welt pockets as an option.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably just gonna go for the patch pockets because, I like to make wearable muslins. Um, but I definitely don't love everyone's directions for welt pockets, and we know that too because of course, how we met. But
Right.
I definitely am like I do want to. I didn't add welt pockets on like one of the things that I really wanted to master, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
really do want to get really good at welt pockets, and I do. So I can do a basic welt pocket really well. They should look,
Mm-hmm.
dare I say, sharp. But I really want to be able to do like the double welt pockets. I want to do like the welt zippers and stuff like that as well.
So
So,
basically, this is the way that I did mine would be almost the same way that you would do a welt zipper. If I wanted to
okay.
go in and put a zipper in place of the welt itself,
Hmm.
it would, and so I really do. I'm gonna try it on my pants because I already plan to make another pair. Because
Yeah.
also I realized in because again, literally since the last pair I made, which was like a 42 chest size, I'm now like at a 38. Um, so like my pants sizing has changed. And from going from the double, like in current commercial pattern size, the
Hmm.
double B to double A, it's a totally different the way they come out. So some of the alterations I used to have to make to get it the look that I want, I don't have to do anymore.
Got it.
So like some of the tapering of the legs and stuff like that that I would do, I don't have to do in this
Do
in
anymore. Yeah.
size. Um, so it it's just all very interesting. It's like it's I'm discovering and I'm learning, but I'm coming with it with a mind of curiosity. And I think that's sometimes we forget is that we are allowed to be curious, even
Yeah.
about ourselves in our own bodies.
Yeah.
Even in our own sewing, find you can find happiness and find adventure in the journey of it.
Hmm.
And don't
Let me
let
ask you
anybody
this.
tell you otherwise.
Um, what is something that makes you like what is a garment or something that you have made that makes you feel like, I guess, close to how other people see you? Like if you were borrowing my eyes, what is something that you feel like Cinderella in? Whatever the male version of Cinderella is.
Cinderfella. Um,
Cinderfella.
the last time I really like felt that some of my button-up shirts, like just
Hmm.
do craftsmanship probably. And that's what made me feel amazing is due
Hmm.
to the details that I put into place.
Hmm.
But then also probably the gold suit.
Yeah.
The gold suit was it. Um, that was I think, but also due to the timing and it made myself feel amazing because I know what it took.
Hmm.
And what I saw was what I had envisioned.
Hmm.
Um,
Ooh, that's
and
good.
yeah,
That what I saw was what I envisioned. Hmm.
and that's what, I get something I feel sometimes I'm real moment. I feel a lot of times like a failure and like
Mm.
that I missed the mark.
Hmm.
So when I have even sometimes in my sewing, I feel like I'm missing the mark. Um, and I think just due to my own self-criticalness, that's how I approach how I approach things is that you're gonna miss the mark anyway.
Mm.
So that I felt and I shied away from doing that work because I was scared like I will fuck this up real bad
Yeah.
or and then I'm going to miss the mark. Um so I felt that I had achieved something that I wanted.
Yeah.
Uh, it gave me the look that I wanted. And I think that's why I get weird about photos and stuff like that. I feel like
Hmm.
sometimes it's photo evidence of my own shortcomings. That's
Mm.
how I put it. Yeah. Um,
You better come on with this therapy session tonight, sir. Come on.
oh, look, and y'all ain't asked for it.
But we
And
did.
but I ain't asked for it to tell all my business. Um, but yeah, so having figuring that out and
Hmm.
having more moments of you did this. I mean, I
Yeah.
can always find joy in different things. Understand that yes, I I have the words to sometimes verbalize my feelings, but it don't make it easier to actually live in them or to acknowledge
Mm.
the craziness of the fallacies in them.
Hmm.
Um, doesn't change that those stay.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of doing that is yeah.
Do you
And
feel like it's changed since you have like, because obviously you knocked that pattern out the park, like you knocked that suit out of the park. And I loved that you received so much love on it. And to give that affirmation aloud, right? I think that was really needed for you. Do you
mhm.
feel like it has changed kind of how you're able to see things?
um not as it should.
Okay.
Probably in a way that I went back to old thinking shortly thereafter.
Okay.
That makes sense. So we just gonna put our whale in there. Yeah, so I went back to old mind frame, old thinking shortly after that. Um, so took like like it almost is like a chasing a high. And a
Hmm.
high come down off a high and usually even after big projects we've all been there where we shared or something like that but then
Hmm.
we have like a withdrawal and going to the next but then we're also scared to go to the next because nothing's
Yeah.
going to hit that again. um
Mm.
so it's like a mental high that I don't want to say I'm chasing but yeah child I don't know how we supposed to talk about self-love not about all my shortcomings.
This is part of the self-love journey, right?
Of course no
Because I
if I want to share I wouldn't. I'm
right,
good.
we know that. But I also think that it's important for like I think that one of the biggest reminders for me for self-love is when people who I see and I admire are able to share more intimate details about their own struggles with seeing themselves as beautiful or seeing their creations as beautiful as well, right? Because when you think about it, like oftentimes most people show their highlight reels, right? They show themselves feeling, looking, doing beautiful things and living excellently and how it looks so seamless, right? And the truth of the matter is that most of us are literally stitching ourselves together one stitch at a time to
By day.
have this perceived notion of perfection or beauty or acceptance or boldness or self-love. And far too often we get caught up in feeling like we're the only ones that are battling with it, and we aren't. And part of healing and part of loving and part of being in community is knowing that we aren't alone. So I think that, being able to say these things, one, as a man is huge. Two, in front of our audience is even bigger because, men are not taught to emote. Men are not taught to talk about self-love. Men are not taught to chase self-love. And so, I want to honor and hold space for you for being able to even do that.
Well, thank you. And I think what's interesting, and some people might notice this, some people might not. Even in talking about it, I can talk about it very matter of factly because I have removed
Hmm.
myself from certain things. As we talk about, men are not able to like are taught to emote, or there is a disconnection between my emotions and my feelings
Mm. Hmm.
that I and how I'm talking about it. It is a natural, it's a coping mechanism I built long
Yeah.
ago. So I can talk about feelings, and this is why even sometimes me in therapy don't always work because I'm like I can talk about them,
Right.
doesn't mean I'm feeling them.
Right.
Like I can bring myself to places and not bring myself. That's if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. So I dissociate as well, right? Um, and of course, and I've already talked to you about this, but like Aurora dissociates as well, which is why when she cries, it affects me so much more because I'm like, wow,
Right.
so in order for you to have gotten through her defense mechanism and actually like make her cry, that's bad. And now I'm coming after you, right?
Right. Who riding? We ride. Let's come
Right.
on.
We are writing, right?
Let's go.
Um, Sometimes, in fact, and of course, my primary degree is in psychology. Sometimes I actually do feel like having a defense mechanism of being able to dissociate is actually healthy because I do
Yeah.
think that there are some moments that it is healthier. I do think that you also have to be able to reattach to the moment so that you can fully navigate and process. But dissociating, it just kind of is what it is, right?
We working on the reattachment piece because
Right.
I was the Sagittarius in me was like, oh, okay, bet.
Same.
And
A Sagittarius rising, like, oh, feelings what?
what is those? Oh no, we got you. Oh, okay, I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. Play with it. And watch me. Watch me.
Yes.
So it's the healing to reattach is that is where I am learning and
Mm.
building. And
Yeah.
that's where the discomfort comes for me. So
Hmm. I mean, and I feel like that's normal, right? Like
yeah.
well, unless you're practiced like me. But also like I feel like I intentionally watch things that make me cry because for the longest time I hated that I had feelings. Like that and embracing feelings was part of my journey in self-love. Like that part I think I have down, right? Because your girl will be sitting. In fact, so Denver and I just started rewatching A Million Little Things.
Okay.
And, you know, we were literally just watching the first episode, which of course is where the friend commits suicide, and I'm over here bawling. But I also spent some like 30 years having repressed emotions before I was finally able to begin to emote healthily, and begin to see vulnerability as strength. It's funny because Will actually said this to me. Will has such a way with words. I'd be like, Will, thank you so much for coming into my life. But Will sent me a text message and it was the kindest message in the world. And he was just like, essentially that many people see vulnerability as a weakness, but you've turned it into your strength. And I
Come
used to
on,
see
Will.
it as a weakness though, and I used to see it as like crying meant I was weak or admitting I had feelings meant that I was weak, right? Um,
Mm.
as opposed to it being, the strength that it is. Like I love that people are able to I love that people feel safe enough to share with me. And I love
Mhm.
that part of creating a safe space for people is me being honest about who I am. You know what I mean? Like, I always think that it's so wild to me. It's really wild when people are like, man, you're so bold and so confident. And I'm like, well, let me check these pictures I've been fucking sharing because let me see what I've been putting up in my stories because wait a minute, like, I don't ever want to deceive y'all. Like, this
Right,
girl's over
right.
here struggling.
Child, and it's funny because I'm be up here. I try to come on as I have a personality. I have built
Hmm.
something.
Hmm.
I'm proud of myself, but it's not always who I am.
Right,
Not in a bad way, but it's what you see online sometimes is the amped up. Like, we just turn the volume up a few notches. It's
right.
not fully fake or anything like that, but it's amped up. And um you forget how to still go back and connect. So as you talk about self-love, you have to know who self is first. And sometimes before we get to
That's
self-love,
deep. You should say that one more time. Say it one more time.
now you got me trying to remember, but to get to self-love, you got to know who self is first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes if you are not feeling comfortable at self-love yet, what about going to self-curiosity, then to self-discovery,
Hmm.
then to self-acceptance?
Yeah. That's good. That's good. And I feel
So
like people think that sewing or like clothing is not a part of that. And it is.
absolutely a part of that, especially if you are a person who feels that you have to hide in a color, not because you like it, but like you might be a black person just because you want to hide and to go back. But you know that that's not who you feel like innately.
Right.
Um, Maybe start with gray,
Hmm.
maybe go blue,
Yeah.
maybe even though your favorite color is pink and purple, you got to
Hmm.
work your way up there. It might be a necklace, it might be amethyst or something
It's truth.
before you get to I'm about to rock the purple Adidas and all purple outfit and let Barney be damned. You know what I'm saying?
Would you believe that in college, the only colors that I wore were beige, white, and black?
Really?
And I grew up hating pink.
So when I was a kid, especially a younger child, pink was my favorite color.
Pink is
Um,
Bo's favorite color. And I finally had to, I was like, dude, it's okay for you to love pink. He was like, it's a
so
girl color. I was like, there's no such thing as girl versus boy colors.
I grew up in a different time, so sometimes that was believed. But yeah, pink was
Right.
my favorite color. Because of Cinderella, the movie, and the making of the dress.
Oh, the light pink and the darker pink dress. Yes.
Like when
Mhm.
the animals and stuff built made the dress, that was
Yeah,
my
yeah.
so I loved pink. And so, I like pink now, but I think rainbow is really my favorite color now. I just give me rainbow.
Okay, Aurora Senior.
I can't choose a color. So give
Yeah.
me that's like seeing bright and bold makes me happy, period. Um, but yeah, it's and I think as a sometimes the image that you see of gay men, especially black gay men, is that
Mm,
feminine and weak or something like that. But I'm like, sometimes we're not connecting to emotions either. It's not
mm,
and not doing that is not connected to your outward mannerisms. You know what I'm
hmm,
saying? And some of
hmm.
the most masculine and most like strong men I know are effeminate. Okay.
Hmm.
But then also some of the most toxic masculine men I know or who really builds into that shit are feminine men. Sometimes, not all the time. And I'm not saying this is not a blanket statement for
Not
nobody,
a blanket statement.
but
This
some
this
of
is
the
just lived experience.
I'm just saying. And it's always just very interesting, especially the ones who up here they don't want to got the nerve to talk about what a woman should wear or how a woman should be. And I'm like, little Lord Fauntleroy, come on now,
It's always
little
it's
Lord
always so
Farquaad,
amazing. Not Lord
little Tank
Farquaad.
Tank, little Tank Tank, come on, keep it cute.
Amazing.
Because I was
Yeah.
listening to somebody was talking about a pastor. Some pastors need to come out and say, and he sang it. He's saying, I like a little pain every now and again.
Well,
I was like, he was like saying, like, pastors just need to come out and say they like a little pain every now and again. I was like, oh, we on that today. Okay. Well, praise the Lord.
won't he do it?
So, it's just, we all have journeys to get to, and it is
Yes.
not there's no manual. There is no like,
No.
this is what it is.
Right.
You have to decide what that is for you. And in that, you get to decide how you show up in that.
Yes.
And when you love yourself, you get to decide, understand that a lot of times when you get to a place of self-love, who you have shown up to be is
Mm-hmm.
not who you are. And some
Mm.
people may not be able to take that. And you're gonna have to be okay with that too.
Which, of course, is the reason why those boundaries are bay.
Look,
The
look.
boundaries are boundaring.
And you can tell, and especially when sewing, you can say no soul splaining.
Yeah.
I think Jessica
No soul
Tricurus
explaining.
came up with that first. Or we I remember us having a conversation about that because she was like, I don't want your suggestions or anything like that. And I said, call it no soul splaining. I'm just
Love
sharing
that.
my process. So no soul splaining.
Yeah.
And I need to get back to that policy. If I
Indeed,
want
you do. Sorry.
look,
Sorry.
thank you for the amen corner. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But you're
Mm-hmm.
right. I do. I do. Um, because that is usually people in it. It's an invasion of space and it's an
It
invasion of my
is.
brain. When
It
I'm
is.
trying to, sometimes we got to realize that people don't share and people don't want to do things because of that type of action. And so
Yeah.
I feel like I'm strong enough to do it, to take it, but you know, like keep it cute.
Keep it cute, please.
And I'm tired, and I have the right to be tired,
Yeah.
and to want an ability to rest in my craft and love myself in it and love
Mm-hmm.
myself wherever I am on the journey and just have fun. I just want to play in fabric sometimes
Yeah.
without your like, you can do this or change this or do. I'm like, child, I ain't asked for that.
Yeah. And
And I'm
one
tired of
final
being
thought on
nice
this
and not
as
saying,
well is we got to stop pushing the notion of flattery on people.
child, because that is a myth. And that's a Eurocentric myth. Because it's a Eurocentric body type that y'all always wanted us to flatter towards. That
Yeah.
ain't my body.
And
I'm a big
it's like fat phobic. It is like anti everything, right? Because like why do I have to want to look smaller in order to fit into your standard of beauty? Like, do I want to be smaller? I do, right? I'm not hiding the fact that I'm, on an active weight loss journey, but more importantly, not just weight loss, but for me, it's more about making sure that my body is healthy, right?
yes,
Um,
absolutely.
but like this, I keep seeing as I am, of course, like taking a look at what YouTubers are doing and more specifically what style YouTubers are talking about. And it's always how to hide your stomach, how to dress more flattering, how to, like, I feel like part of self-love is also embracing and not necessarily hiding. Now, that's not to say if you feel most beautiful with, say, aligning to dressing for an apple shape or a pear shape or,
Your
triangle
colors,
or
winter,
reverse
spring
triangle
color.
or whatever it is that you identify as. I get it. I love that for you. But this
Yeah.
notion that we have to be flattering, like that something has to flatter what it is that we have in order for it to be good enough is, I feel like that's like anti self-love. You know what I mean?
Right.
Every time I hear it, I
Or
just immediately think about how like Tim Gunn was like plus size women should only wear dark clothes that are baggy and hide everything. Like, it, is is that flattering?
Little Lord Fauntleroy, again, he needs to shut
Yeah,
up. It's that hyper masculinity and that your own trauma and her coming out.
yeah,
But I ain't about to. I ain't trying to go in on nobody. I ain't trying to go in on nobody. But also too, I think you get to decide. I think sometimes when people hear self-love, they always thinking of more on the lines of free love. It can be that if that's what you want it to be, but it also can be, hey, I don't mind being modest, and that's fine too.
that's fine
Um,
too.
Like you get to decide what works best for you.
Yeah.
And that's and
Yeah.
that's what you can live and operate in confidence because you decided it. That's the
Exactly.
biggest thing. It's the confidence to live in the decision that you made.
Mm-hmm. That's good right there.
And I think that sometimes is what we forget is that you can live in your own, you get to decide the how this goes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's real good. So, Julian, you have this photo shoot that's coming up. What else are we working on?
So I just signed up for some pattern tests. So I'm going to be
Okay,
doing
sir.
pattern tests with Friday Pattern Company. They got some new little things coming out.
Okay.
So that's going to be fun and exciting. Still doing my class.
Mm-hmm.
Work been working me. So we a little behind, but we getting there. We are getting there. And I am committing to making more of these little cute little outfits because I felt cute in it.
Yes. Yes.
So, and
Cosign.
that's also an important thing for me. So we're gonna continue to find what feels good to me to be for my cuteness.
I love that. I love that.
Hmm.
I
What
love
about you?
that.
What you got going?
Um, well, I just wrapped up the social media for SOS course, which
Mhm.
was amazing. So getting ready to schedule another one out, but also, at the end of the month, I'm going to be out in Puyallup,
Is
Puyallup.
it? Yeah.
No, it's
Okay.
Puyallup. That's it.
Okay.
Washington teaching it. So Expo, I've got 9 classes that I'm teaching. So I'm literally just in prep mode from now until then, but also, of course, sewing. But on a personal note, February 1st,
Mhm.
I kick off 75 Softs. So if anyone
Oh,
is looking to join me, the why set kicking off 75 Soft now because I was cleared from my doctor to work out. So your girl is healing, 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 healing.
oh, oh,
Um, so if you're like, well, what's the difference between 75 soft, 75 hard? 75 soft is one 45-minute workout per day. Um, and it is, of course, the reading for 10 minutes, which I can't ever stop at 10 minutes. I've already finished my 10th book of the year. Um, but reading for 10 minutes, following a healthy diet. So whatever health looks like for you. Um, and then of course, drinking 3 liters of water per day. Um, and I think that's about it. So I am starting that um because your girl is like, I want to get fit. I've got to be lifting these weights, you know, in full
mhm.
preparation mode for longevity. And of course I'm making my makes for my self-love sewing. Also, I had to pause my self-love sewing because your boy Bo has lost his jacket. So mommy's got to make him a shacket.
How you? It's winter. How you leave the building without your jacket?
Julian. First of all, Bo Bo must be tapping into his Nordic blood because we've got a lot of
Right. I love it.
like we've got Irish, Scottish, Walish, German in us. I'm like, you must be tapping into that bloodline and not the Mali, not the Somali, not any of that, right? Like,
No,
sir,
of
he
course
be
not.
outside in short sleeves. And I swear he makes me be the black mama who was like, get your jacket on right now, zipper it up. Like, meanwhile,
I love
Kalim was just in my room and was like, oh, I wasn't dry. I didn't have on enough clothes the other day. Like, girl, the black child can.
look. She's like, mm-mm,
She
mm-mm.
was like, mm-mm, mm-mm.
Meanwhile,
She
at
was
work
like,
today,
what you got? Like, let me get a little home remedy.
because I was showing up adding on clothes. Like I was. What's interesting with Luke, like, so I can be hot except for my hands and my feet and parts of my legs.
Mm,
Usually a little bit still look chilled. So today, like I was at work, I had on Uggs, I had on jeans, but literally the things that were cold, like I almost needed gloves. My hands were cold and my feet were cold in
now I
Uggs,
needed gloves.
like just because my hands were cold and I was drinking coffee. And but the
Mm,
rest and now no in the office was hot. Mm-hmm.
no.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I definitely just turned the heat on downstairs just so, oh, I love this single blue nail.
Trying something.
Listen, Julian does such a fantastic job of painting nails. Um,
I mean, they're Monet. I mean, they're a little. We got some little crazies, but
sure.
it's all.
I can't with you. Not a Monet.
I mean, you don't get too close. Keep it
Don't
cute.
get too close.
We social distancing with the nails.
Yeah,
Get too close.
I love it though. It looks good.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, so we got to make him a jacket. We got to make him some cool weather items to remind him that he has tropical blood. Like, sir.
Something. Something. Please remember who you are. Remember
Come
your ancestor you know by name, sir.
on, Mufasa. Remember who you are. Oh my God. I really be looking at him with so much confusion, like, how are you, my son? I tell you
I'll be
what
out
though,
there.
you know what my warmest jacket is my bomber jacket that I made from your pattern is my warmest jacket.
Which is I love it. I love it for you. Which
Yeah.
actually I basically am at a point now where I need to remake all my jackets. Because yeah.
I was gonna mock you, but I decided against it
Thank
in
you.
hopes that you would send me all of the old jackets. So whatever.
I mean, what's funny is that the box with the green one is sitting ready to go in the mail. I haven't made it to
And, you
a
know, I'm
spot.
not about to say anything about it because your girl sucks at mailing things. Again, if you were one of the winners from the new pattern November, I haven't forgotten. I just life has been lifing. I'm gonna get it in the mail, I swear.
It's
That's
fine.
why for just so the self-love sewing, I'm not mailing anything. Nothing that you can possibly win is gonna be mailed by me at least.
Right. Right. Smart.
So
You know, you are knowing your strengths.
yeah. Which
You're
reminds me, of
operating.
course, still planning frock tails. Can't wait. Can't wait.
When
Just
are
have to
tickets going
confirm
on
this
sale?
space and
Okay.
but very, very excited.
Love it, love it, love it. I think this is going to be a sewing traveling year for a lot of people because I know some friends who are trying to do a vintage sewing retreat, focus on vintage style and sewing.
What?
Yeah,
I
and
need
then
for you to be there.
we trying to work it out. It was almost going to be the same time as Frocktails, Atlanta. I was like, well, no, I've already committed, so I'm making sure people know.
Yes, please. Also, they should be at Atlanta Fractals as well. So
I'm trying to get them there too.
yes, I love this for us. I love this for us so much.
But yeah, so but yeah, good stuff. And good stuff. And we're really excited. So, as you are working on your own forms of self love or self discovery, self acceptance, self curiosity, share it with us.
Yes.
Share it with us. Tag us at the Audacity so that we can see what you're doing. And it could be a t shirt that you're making for your own
Mhm.
self. Or
Mhm.
if you want to make yourself a new pair of slanky slinkies, you can share that with us too. We don't
Yeah,
mind.
we don't mind. We don't mind. Show what you're comfortable with, okay?
Right. Check what your mama gave you.
We here to accept it all.
Right. But again, y'all, we thank y'all so much for joining us. We thank y'all for coming to just chat with us every week. And we thank you so for all the positive feedback and all the feedback in general. It's been really helpful as we continue on the journey of being podcasters in the sewing space.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so take nothing else. Find a way to love on yourself this week as you continue to be audacious and create.